Hello Systema gaming fans, and today we are here to do another building video for you. Today we are building the FCB-One set. So if you guys want to take a look, this is what we got to work with right here. And I am looking forward, I am excited to get this started here. And this is what we're building today. So just to show you guys exactly what it is, because I know looking at a picture always doesn't do it justice, so looking at the picture on the box, I got one built already for you guys to look at. Now this one's built with the windows closed, and I'll explain to you that they could be open or closed. So I know it's a weird angle here, but if you guys want to take a look at this right here, that's what the set looks like. We'll go around on each side here. It's a versatile set. I really like that it does have a diagonal set here. Erasing that side, and here we go. And that is what they look like. Now, what's cool about this set is even though it looks like it's one building, I'll show you right now, it breaks apart here. So if you can see, it comes with 3 separate floors, which is good because you can play with 3 separate buildings if you actually wanted to. But not only that, if you look on this part right here, you notice there's a ladder there. Well, this ladder is actually removable, and it just reveals a door. As well on this side, if you look right here, there's a ladder. If you remove it, it's a door. So you can have doors, you can have ladders, it's up to you. The ground floor right here is also, these are also removable here. So you can then have the ground floor. So it's I guess you could call it a 4-level building. The only thing that I'm going to do differently in this video compared to this building is I'm actually going to remove, I just kept the windows in here, and I'll show you guys in a second. I'm going to remove the windows to make it an open building. But this is what we are building today, the FCB-One set. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, just please comment. We're looking forward to getting all the videos done for all the gaming terrain pieces. So now for a quick rundown of what will be needed to assemble this. Of course, you need your wood glue. And now you could use PVA glue or you could use super glue. Super glue dries too quick, PVA glue doesn't hold long enough. The best bet is putting it together with wood glue. That is what we suggest at Systema Gaming to put these pieces together. So you have your wood glue. Another thing you will need is you will need a knife. You need one with a thinner blade like this, so you can see. It's a pretty thin bristles, but you don't want it too thick because you need to get it in tight spots, but you want a cheap blade. You also don't need an expensive one because realistically, once you put wood glue on a brush, the brush is no good for any other painting except for really wood glue, unless you really clean it out. So again, you want a crappy brush. You will need an X-Acto knife to get the pieces off the sprue. And remember, always practice safety when using knives. You want a good sharp X-Acto blade to get them off the sprue. You can break them off, but you would prefer using an X-Acto knife to get them off cleanly. As well, glue, water is always good to use to get the wood glue off your brush because you just don't want the brush sitting there as you're putting the pieces together. Some paper towels, another good thing to use. And what a good suggestion would be elastics. Now, these elastics are good because when pieces are drying, you want them held securely in spot. So you can do that by making sure you use the elastics. So that is what we need to get started. As well, I'm going to use this board right here to cut onto because we don't want to wreck this beautiful mat. So this is the board I'm going to be using to cut on the pieces to get off the sprue. So other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and get started now. So every set, once you have your FCB-One set gone in the mail, you're super pumped. It's all wrapped nicely in this with cellophane, has a picture on it, and now we need to go ahead and get building. First of all, we're going to open this, so be careful. You don't want to open it on the front. You don't want to put the knife on the front because you don't want to wreck any of the details. So go along the side, your best bet, and then let's just go ahead and open it right here. Okay, so you're going to have a bunch of different wooden sprues. So if you notice right here, this is FC01A, and it goes all the way to FC01B, C, D, E, and F. So make sure you have FC01A to F in here. You're ready to go. So the first part we are going to work on is going to be the bottom floor. I'm going to show you each individual floor, and we're going to go through like that just to make sure we're getting on it. So the first piece we are going to build is this is the bottom floor. If you notice inside, it has a sub room, which is like right here. Right here. This is where the elevator is, and has a sub room as well as the floor. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get the pieces out, all the pieces we need, and then we'll be right back. So if you put together any Systema gaming terrain kits before, you're going to know how to take this off. But just in case, I'm going to show you quickly. So this is the main floor of the building. Now we need to get this off the sprue. So the thing is, what Systema does is they laser cut, except for about a half a millimeter, a quarter of a millimeter piece of MDF. That way it holds and doesn't fall off the sprue. Because I've gotten terrain kits before where you pick up the sprue and every single piece falls off. You don't know where anything is. This thing is good. This is why we need the X-Acto knife. So what you're going to do here is, if I can show you this right here, you may not be able to see it. You see that little nub right there? That's what we need to get going. So like I said earlier, you can go ahead and you can break it off. I prefer to use a knife. So what you do is you put your X-Acto knife on there, and you just push until you hear a pop. Now that's going to get the piece nice and off there, and it's not going to leave much marks. As well, you push, there we go. So we're going to get this whole piece out here. Again, you want to play, when you're using an X-Acto knife, you want to make sure you are using the X-Acto knife right. You don't want to cut anything. You want to make sure the surface you're working on, I don't care, this is just a piece of the terrain for the terrain we build. But you'd want to make sure you don't want to damage anything. So with that done, this thing should just nicely pop off. So that is that piece right there. Another thing you want to do once you have all your pieces off the sprue is, because it was held together with that little piece, you're going to notice right here that, sorry guys, 1 second there. Sorry about that. You're going to notice that right there, if you look, there's a little bump there. To get this terrain to fit together, because this terrain's made to fit together with no space in between, you want to get that little bump off. Simply, it's easily done again with your X-Acto knife. You're going to put it on the edge like this, and you're just going to run across it. Again, you want to be careful. You don't want to cut anything. So now what we've done there is, even though don't worry about the discoloration, that's just because that's just the scorch marks from the laser, but there's no longer a lip there. So that is what we want to do. So I'm going to show you all the pieces we need. What I'm going to do is, you don't need to watch this, because I'll get all the pieces back down here. Again, I'm going to get them all clean, and we'll come back with all the pieces that we need to build the first level. And this is all the pieces we will need to build the first floor. So we just want to go through each individual piece here. So of course we have our base floor, we have our 2 walls, our 4 walls, and this is for the room inside. So these mostly were found on, actually all of these pieces except for the floor, were found on FCO-1F. FCO-1F, that's what these pieces were found on. I left the doors on there because the doors really don't matter until the end. You can do all the doors together. And the big floor was found on FCO-1E. So these are all the pieces we need to start building the first floor. So it's always good, no matter what MDF kit you're building, to test fit everything. So you want to make sure you have the windows on the proper side and everything along those lines. So if you notice right here, this is going to be this part right here. If you notice, this piece goes right here. So if you look for this vent, you look for this piece, that's where this piece goes. It slops right into that base there. That is basically the vent. This is the elevator. So you want to make sure you got everything going on in there. Other than that, these 2 doors are exactly the same. So it really doesn't matter what corner you put it on. You just go ahead and put it on any corner there. So this would go right here. This would go right here. And then these pieces would go right here. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I want to build this with the windows open. Now, what you do for the windows open is this: when you cut the wall off the sprue, this is what you get. Now these pieces are removable. They're all attached again with those little pegs, the little pieces that are left there. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go ahead and remove this again. You put your X-Acto knife, push down, cut these pieces out with your X-Acto blade, and then remember to file this down with your corner of the edge of your X-Acto blade so that's flat. So now I got this piece out. We're gonna go ahead and start assembling these pieces, the window pieces. I wouldn't throw these out. These could be good for if you ever want to go make your own terrain on home out of foam core, which we do here. These would be good. You can make your own windows out of these, and you don't even have to cut in windows, so you can do whatever you want, make windows. So I wouldn't throw these pieces away. We have a full bag of him here. They're always good to use for other projects. So now to start assembling the first floor. So the first piece I'm going to put on is this piece right here again. Match this part up with the vent right there, and that's where it's going to go. So I'm going to get this, glue everything in here. The way that works best is you put glue in each of these individual holes right here, as well as you put glue along each of here, like so. So you put glue in each individual hole right here, as long as the edge, and that'll give the best fit for you. So we're gonna go ahead and glue that up there. I'm gonna bring my board back just because I don't want to get glue on this beautiful mat we got here. So I'm gonna put my board back here, and let's go ahead and glue. So at this point in time, we're gonna speed up the video just because you guys don't want to sit here for a long video watching this, and we'll come back together. So we're gonna glue this piece on first. And there we go. So we got our first piece glued on. Now, what you want to do is you want to work quickly, because this stuff sets, this wood glue, even though it's wood glue, it still sets pretty quickly. You want to get all the doors on, you want to get everything tight, and then you want to set it. So let's go ahead. Now, if you notice some glue comes out the side, you can wipe that away with your fingers. Go ahead. I do want to warn you guys, wipe away from these indentations. All these marks right here are laser lines. And if glue gets in here, it's going to seal it up, and when you spray it, you're not going to be able to notice. So if you're going to wipe up the excess glue, make sure you wipe away from those lines. You don't want to get any glue there. So let's go ahead, and we're going to put the inside on right now. So this piece goes like so. It goes like that, and then this other piece obviously goes on the wall right there. So we're gonna get these two pieces on, and we'll be right back. Well, I mean, we'll keep the video on, but we're gonna go ahead and speed it up. Again, same thing, glue right here in the hole along the edge. And there you go. So now we got the interior elevator room all done. Let's go ahead and get the other wall on right now. So again, make sure, it doesn't matter, make sure you got it going on right. There's only one way this fits on, so I mean, you can't really get it wrong here. So let's go ahead and glue this piece on. And there we go. We got the second wall on. So let's go ahead and get the back and the front walls on. I guess it doesn't, we don't really know what's back and front. So these will only fit one way, so make sure you fit it the proper way. So if you notice this right here, this has 3 knobs right here. This has 3 and this has 2. Well, it's gonna correspond to this. So the doors only going to go one way, so make sure, obviously it won't go in any other way. Let's go ahead, put this back on as well. And there we go. So again, I'm wiping away. That's one wall, and the one last wall right here. We'll get it on. And there we go. So the kit is now, the bottom floor is now built. So get all your excess glue. Remember, wipe away from the details. You don't want the detail going out there. And that is what our kit likes. Ooh, there's some excess glue right here. I forgot a piece. My apology, guys. We'll get back to that piece in 1 second. Sorry about that. I realized we did forget the shutters. So I'll be right back. And I do apologize. Also on the FC-01E, you need this piece right here. This will be the shutters for the windows. I'll show you guys that in 1 second. So now we got our shutter piece, and that shutter piece goes on the windows right here. So there's gonna be little notches for them. So if you don't look like that, they go right there. So let's go ahead and glue that on. Now for this, you can put a bit of glue on these backy parts right here. Just don't put too much because you don't want it to pool. But everything else is the same. So you're gonna put some glue right there, as well as just so it can catch on. There you go. So now we have the shutters on. So now this is where the elastics come in. This wood glue is going to take a little bit to dry. So you want to have an elastic to hold everything in place and they keep it nice and secure. So what I do is I grab an elastic, I put it along the terrain piece like this, and then I make sure it's tight. So let's go ahead and do another circle around. It's going to be nice and tight. That's okay. It's going to pull each piece into each other to keep it nice and tight there. And that's what we're looking for. You want a nice and tight fit so that everything at the end fits together. So we're gonna do one that way as well, do one lengthwise. That one's not gonna work out, too small. This one should be good here. And there you go. So while this piece, now we're gonna let this go ahead and let this piece sit here, and we're gonna let it dry. Once it's dry, it'll be all nice and set, and then we'll be able to move on to the next floor. For the bottom floor, we need to go ahead and build these side things with the side railings. So we're gonna go ahead and get these pieces for that, and we're gonna build those railings. Here are the pieces we need for the two side flooring with the ladders. Now these are all going to be on the same two sprues that the other pieces were, and that was F and E. So I'll show you guys how simply this goes. You want to go ahead, you want to make sure you're using the right ones because this kit comes with multiple tools. So this piece right here, if you look right here, it's an interesting shape. The top little hook things go onto the top, and it faces the front, and it goes in like that. And you're gonna put those two in there like that, and then that's gonna glue into there like so. And you're gonna go ahead and have the both right there. So that is how that goes. So we're gonna go ahead and glue each of these, and we'll speed up the video as we do so. And there is that piece right there. And that piece goes directly into this piece. Now we have the finished piece, as we can see right here. You want to be careful. We can't use elastics on this because there won't be a good enough spot to hold it in tight, and if you put any elastics, it's going to pull it off. So once you have it set, you want to set it aside and let it sit for it to dry on its own. You don't want to keep playing with it because then it's not going to set properly. And we'll build the second one. And there we go. That is the 2 side floors with the stairs ladder, you could say, built in there. So that is the first floor completely built. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the second floor. Now we are gonna move on to the second floor. Let's go ahead and get the pieces we need for the second floor. Here are the pieces we will need for our second floor. Again, it does have an interior, so make sure that everything goes right. But other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. The main point is the way you start is you want to get this piece, again, to match up with the vent of the elevator. So again, dry fit everything, make sure everything's good, and then we can go ahead and start assembling. So let's go ahead, speed up the process, and we'll do the assembly process. One thing I do want to note here is these pieces right here. This is where the glue go, because this sits on top of here. So you want the glue to go there. Now this piece also goes well in here, so you want to put this right here. And last but not least, for the interior, we got this piece. Let's go ahead and put this other wall on. Again, make sure the lines are facing the outside. And then our 2 walls. Or 2 door walls, I guess you could say. So again, always double check your knobs there. On the side, I was putting the wrong side on there, so I had to make sure I put the right side on. So there you go, wipe away, and that is the base of the second floor. All that's left that we have to do is get our shutters. Our shutters are now ready to go onto the side of the building. I usually call it window ledges, whatever you want to call it. So again, always dry fit just to make sure everything goes well here. And yeah, so that fits on well. So let's go ahead, apply some glue. And that'll be our second floor completed. So let's go ahead and put some elastics on there to hold everything together. And with that, our second floor is complete. We're about a third of the way there. Now we are going to move on to the top floor. Now this floor right here would probably be the most difficult one to build, just because we got a few little things. We got the staircase right here, and we have 2 different levels. So it is not that difficult. You have to watch out for these 2 things right here. These get a bit annoying. And what this is this holds the door open, so you can have a door here. It comes with the kit. It slides in and out. So that's a cool aspect. But these can be a bit annoying, but we'll get not annoying. These can be a bit finicky. We'll go ahead and get that. And then the ladder would probably be the most difficult one on this set to make sure we get it right. So it's not that hard to get it right. I mean, this kit is pretty easy to build, but we got to make sure we get that right. So let's go ahead and gather the pieces we need for everything. So here is all the pieces you will need to build the 3rd floor. So this will be the most difficult step in this terrain piece. So don't get discouraged. It's not that hard. It's just there's a few finicky things here. And you know what? With the extreme detail of this kit, this is something that Systema unfortunately cannot avoid. So it's not hard at all. I mean, it should be very easy, but it's the most difficult one step. But we're going to go ahead and walk you through it together. The first thing we're going to build is the bridge. Now, the bridge, you will need these 5 rungs, as well as these will be the bridge sides. So it's straightforward there. The only thing is the bridge is going to connect to this piece right here. So if you look right here, this is the top piece. We haven't built this yet. We're going to get to it. But the bridge is going to go up to here, and this will be like the final rung. So it's going to look something like that. So you have a decision to make. So if you notice right here, it's on that way. You can either put them all on that way, or you can do staggering. The staggering looks cool, and that's what's done on the website, the Systema website. You can see right there, that's a staggered. Or you can do it all one way. For this set, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it all one way, just so all the steps are like so. So it's going to be like that. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and build these. So basically what you're going to do is you don't need to really put any glue on each of the rungs, but put a nice amount of glue in each of the holes for the rungs. So let's go ahead and do that. And now you have to do this kind of quickly, just because wood glue does dry a bit faster, and you want to have enough time that it's pliable to set with. So this is the first step in here. So let's go ahead and put the glue in the holes here. So now we got it on the first side. We have to go ahead and get it on this side. Now this is where it's going to be difficult, because you have to get them to all line up. So I'm going to try to do it on camera here. We'll do it on camera. I'm not perfect at it though, so you're going to have to forgive me as I try to do this. We'll fast forward there, see when I can get through this here, just so we can get this done. Okay, so that is that. Now, this won't be very good. This won't hold very well. So what you want to do automatically is you want to glue it into the inside wall. This is the inside wall. You notice how this holds there for that. So go ahead and glue that, and that'll hold it in place nicely. So let's go ahead and put some glue on that. Now, once that's in place, that's going to be good. It's going to hold well. So this is the first piece you want to build when you're working on the top floor. So after you've done this piece like so, I'm going to go ahead and place it into put it into the base. So let's go ahead and glue that down into there. There we go, perfect. So now that is that. Let's go ahead and assemble. We're gonna go ahead and put all the other parts walls on. So the back door right here goes, I should just put the side door on first. So the tall guy goes back up here, obviously, so that the diagonal thing here matches the diagonal on the bridge. So that's one side on. Now let's go ahead and do the other side. Again, away from that. Okay, now that that's on, let's put our back door on. And there we have it. We have 3 of the walls put on. So now what's gonna go next is these little pieces right here. So you got one for each side. So this one's gonna go here, obviously. And this one is going to go here. Now that's also gonna leave us room to go ahead and put the, that just for like the door there. So let's go ahead and put those pieces on. And then that's those pieces. So almost done this floor. We just have these 2 little things to go on here. So the way this works is this one goes like this, and this one goes like this. You glue these together like that, and then you just slot them in there. So if you look down there, there's 2 holes. There's 1 hole right there, and then 1 hole on the side. That's where that goes. So you put these 2 together, and then you put those in there. In all honesty, the best way is you're gonna put this one in first. So again, put some glue on it here, here, and in here, as well as the bottom of it. And just get that in there. There we go. So that piece is on. Let's go ahead and put the other one on the same way. And there we go. So with that, this is complete. Just make sure test that you didn't push the sides in too much. That this does fit in there. Does fit in perfectly. And that would be almost complete. We just got to go ahead and put our sides on. So as like always, the last time for the sides, always make sure you know which way they're going on. Ooh, I forgot something. And this is why I forgot this piece right here. So let's just clean it up quickly. And there you go. I got it back in there, so we're good to go here. So let's go ahead and apply the window. The window sills, I guess you can call it. So that is the top floor completed. So let's put some elastics on that. You don't want to put elastics on that. I think that's the only spot you really need to put elastics on that for. We're going to set that aside and go to the final floor. Now we have the final final top floor that sits on top there. So let's go ahead and get all the pieces we need to get that built. And here are the final pieces we need for the top floor. I shouldn't say the final pieces we need for the top floor. Here are the pieces we need for the top floor. So let's go ahead and install each piece. So we'll go ahead and put the one side on first. So the back of it the part with the ladder is the part you want the diagonal piece to go. So go ahead and we're going to go put that diagonal piece on there like so. And we'll be right back as we do that. And that's the first side. Now, the second side will... So now that we got the first side on, this little piece right here is going to go right in here. If you guys can see that right there. So that's how that goes. So let's get that glued in there. So before this sets. Perfect. So that goes in there. And then on the back, this is where it's going to go next. Right here, again, this is one of those pieces where it has a removable door, so let's put that on. Now the reason why we're putting this on right now and not after we put the other long side on is this right here won't have enough support to sit by itself. So that's why you got to put this on, because we need to make sure it has enough hold that it sets itself, because elastics won't work on this. So just make sure there's enough space there. Let's get that on here. Just give me 1 second here, guys. Sorry. Perfect. And with that will be enough to let it set, get all the excess glue off, and we can move on to the other side. It's essentially the same, except instead of having a small thing right here, it's a longer one. So let's go ahead and get that side on first. Okay, now that that's on, let's go ahead and get this piece on. Realistically, it probably would have been a better idea to put this piece on first, now that I think about it. like so. Awesome. So that's on. Last but not least, we have this piece that goes on next. Sorry about that, guys. My battery died. So we were just putting this last piece on right here. So let's go ahead, put some more glue on right there, and this piece go right here and right here, and perfect. So that is that piece. All we got left is these two small things like before. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, it's the same procedure. Put this one in first. That one was fighting with me. And we put this piece in second. Perfect. And then just repeat the process there. And let's put the door in there just to make sure everything fits perfectly. Perfect. And there we go, guys. So that is the top floor done. So we are almost done this kit. Let's just clear the excess glue right there. We got a few more pieces to go. So the next thing we got to worry about is we have to build us 3 more of these. Now these are the ladders that hang over the walls. So I'm going to show you guys how to build one. The other 3 are going to be the other 2 are going to be exactly the same. You're going to need these right here from these sprue, and as well as these ones right here. These 4 right here, and there should be 2 more somewhere else. So let's get these off sprue and we'll show you how to build that. So here we go. We got our 3 pieces we need right here. So essentially it's like the other one, but it's the exact same thing. You put some glue here, 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 put some glue in here and here, and then you just go like that. And this part does go on the outside because it clips onto the wall here. And just push down like that, and then there we go. So you're gonna build the other 2 exactly like that. We have one more piece to build, and that would be the air conditioner unit. So after that we'll be complete. Let's go ahead, get those air conditioner unit pieces out, and we'll get to go to build this last piece. This thing's sweet. Check this out. It's like it is an air conditioner, and it's just a piece of scattertrain or something that you can put on top. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And here is all the pieces you need for the AC unit. So let's go ahead and start assembling. So what happens here is it goes like this. So this piece like that goes into the top of the AC unit. And I'll just show you guys quickly how it builds. So this top part, again, the long part goes in the top, the flat part in the bottom. Then this goes right here. This part right here goes on top like so. The vents go on. Sorry. And then last but not least, this guy goes like this, and you get the gist of it. So let's go ahead and put it together. let's go ahead and put the roof. And then the side vents. Last but not least, so you put this piece on first, and then you put this piece on. So you don't need to worry about putting any glue on the vent part. You just have to put it on this part right here. Other than that, it'll work out fine for you. It'll hold it in place there. So let's go ahead here. There we go. And then this piece right here, again, some glue right there, right there, right there, right here, and there we go. C'est fini. So that was the last piece we had to build. Our vent is done. You can put some elastics around this if you want to hold it. It's probably a good idea. And we'll be back with the final product showcase. And here we go, Systema Gaming fans. We are finally done the tutorial video on how to build the FCB-One set. And man, is this thing a beauty. So let's take a look at this. So it is a 3, possibly 4 level of that. It's a beautiful thing. You can have open doors, you can have open doors, you can have ladders. It even comes with its own AC unit. Thank you very much for watching this building tutorial. Please let us know what you think. Please check out the website, systemagaming.com, and get all your laser cut terrain there that's needed. Again, please let us know. These are new tutorials, so we are setting them out, figuring them out. Please let us know what you think. And as always, guys, keep on wargaming.